Welcome to Joy of the Hang. Let me ask you something. What would you do differently if you knew you were going to live 100 years? No, not just hope for it, not just imagine it, but actually live it. Because the truth is, almost none of us will. Only 2 out of every 10,000 Americans will reach the age of 100, which means most of us will never sit across from someone who has lived an entire century of life. But today, you are.
Mhm,
Olga Genersich is 101 years old.
mhm.
She has lived through world
And
wars.
for the family, I am called Cincy.
Cincy. That's right. I see it. I want to know why you're called Cincy. We'll get to that. She has lived through world wars, profound loss, extraordinary love, and more change than most of us can even comprehend. She's seen the world before television, before the internet, before we carried distraction in our pockets. And right now, in schools across the world, children are studying the world wars. But for Olga, also known as Cincy, this isn't history, it's her life. She was in Budapest, Hungary during World War II. She fell in love and married a Hungarian soldier in 1944. That's the year my mom was born, 1944.
Yeah.
At just
He was a
20.
professional soldier, not just a soldier.
He was a professional, so he was trained.
Akadémiára járt.
West Point grad.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was a West Point
Their
grad.
version of West Point.
Yes,
Oh,
that's why
wow,
I mean.
wow.
Mhm. And 5 years older than I was.
Oh, well, nothing wrong with that. 3 months
Well,
later.
somehow in a summer vacation or so, he has seen me, and he thought, what was I going to say? Yes, he has seen me, and he said he was 5 years older than I was.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that girl will be the mother of my children.
Oh.
When he saw me. The first time, we never even knew each other. He was 5 years older, he was a student, and I was also a student. And that's what he said. And that's exactly what happened.
And then 3 months later,
And a few months later, he died.
he died in the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was killed in service on the Russian front. You became a widow,
Yes.
a refugee, and without even knowing it yet, a
Yeah.
mother-to-be.
Yes.
You were pregnant.
Yeah. And my daughter was born in Germany at, oh my gosh, the place is so well known.
Oberammergau.
Oberammergau. It's very close to Garmisch, which is a famous winter resort. Garmisch-Partenkirchen.
Okay.
Mhm.
Very interesting. So today we're talking about the life behind the years, the regrets, the proudest moments, the relationships that carry her, and the lessons we're all meant to learn if we're willing to listen. But if we're lucky enough to grow old, the question isn't will we get there? It's who will we become along the way? So let's go back. You ready?
Mhm.
First of all, how'd you get the name Cincy?
My oldest grandson called me. Well, he heard it once before, or a couple of times before. My husband called me Cincy, his father.
Yeah.
And then so it stayed with the grandchildren. So they call me Cincy.
Oh, it's easier to say
Mhm.
maybe, huh? It's fun to say, Cincy.
Yeah.
Does it mean anything?
It means my loved one.
Oh, I like that. My loved one.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Can you take us back to Budapest during World War II, and what do you remember most vividly?
For which time?
World War II?
World War II?
Yeah, what do you remember about that?
First of all, you tell me when it was. 45?
In the 1944, 45? Yeah.
44, 45.
Mm-hmm.
I was a student, and I was mainly really occupied with the school. My family was not in any politics. My father worked for the railroad 38 years, and so they didn't have any politics in the house because it would be probably disturbing his job where he worked.
Okay.
and he worked for the railroad, which was um, not personal, but it was, hogy hívják? Állami.
State, work for the state.
Oh, you worked for the state. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was no politics in our house.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wish it was like that today.
It was a tough time.
I'm
Tough
sure.
time all around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were not, and my father was mainly, as I knew him when I was about 5 or 6 years old, that he was a sportman. And he was a judge for sport events. And he stayed that also. He worked for the government, not for the government, for the vasútra,
The railway system.
railway system, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was no politics in our house involved that a child would hear roughly
Okay.
coming and going, but they didn't, because my father was a sportsman. That was his main entertainment or interest. And later on, he became a well-known
Soccer
soccer,
referee.
hogy hívják?
Referee.
Referee.
A soccer referee. So
Soccer.
football, like soccer, like
European
football. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what his main interest was personally. And otherwise, he was a wonderful person, a beautiful man also, really. And he was really involved more in sports than anything else.
How old did he live to be? Your
Not
dad?
too old, I think 69, maybe 69.
Okay. No, yeah. Do you have siblings?
I have a sister.
You have a sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's 5 years younger than I am. And also we are friends, but not not to every details.
Okay. Can't tell her everything. That's
In
funny.
other words, we have to be concerned about what we are talking
what
because
you're
we have
sharing,
many
yeah.
different opinions.
Okay.
She lived, further on, continued in Hungary, and I left. So our world was a little bit different.
That makes sense. Where does she live now?
She's still living. She is 96 and lives in a very nice retirement center. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but it is in a very beautiful location. And she cannot walk anymore.
Okay.
So she's bedridden.
You have good genes, though. You're both living to a very...
Yeah, 96.
I see.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. Something good's going on over there in Hungary. That's great.
So we had a very satisfactory and peaceful childhood. And that means a lot. In my early years, like 5 or 6 years old, I remember one instance, we were waiting for my father come back from Holland. And he was delayed, so he came a little bit, I don't know, a day or 2 days later. And I remember then when I heard that my father was involved in sports and in football.
Yeah.
And he was a referee.
Yeah.
And at the end, there were 7 chosen who were involved in international plays that they were called. And that was one of my father too, out of the 7.
Oh,
and
wow.
it stayed also like that. And I have a big tableau with all the people, with the sport at that time. And which meant that he was often not at home because he had to be involved. And that took quite a lot of time for him, but he was very involved. Törekvés volt was the name of that sport that he belonged to Turkish, yeah. I don't really know too much about it.
Motivation. You're very proud of your father.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had not only a beautiful father, but also a very soft, you couldn't do anything but love him. He was so good.
Oh, that's lovely. So
Yeah.
tell me about your first husband, the one that was killed in the war. Tell me more about him. What made you fall in love?
That was a very interesting situation.
Okay.
I was about, I think, 13 years old or 14. And with my classmate, we were walking home under the viaduct of a train. And across from us came 3 young men. They were from high school, already graduated, and they came across facing us. I didn't know anybody, but my classmate knew them. And they were 5 years older than we were, so there was no dating stuff like that, at that time. And so these 3 men or 5, I don't know now. Well, anyway, we started talking, and he told me before he left, there was maybe 10 minutes that we were talking about something. And before he left, he pointed his finger and he said, "That girl will be the mother of my children." That was my first husband.
And he never
Just
got
like
never got to meet his child.
No, never got to meet his child. That's life.
Yeah.
So it's up and down, but you have to be strong enough not to complain all the time. I learned that especially young, not to complain, because it doesn't hurt maybe the other person so much as it hurts your soul, because you want to achieve something by influencing somebody with your questions. And it hasn't been like that. So you have to accept the conditions that you are in, how much strength you can afford to continue that conversation. Because if you just want to be, tinky-tanky, you are not sure about things, then better stay calmer. And this would be also open an opportunity for personally, if we are debating even 2 of us, to have a little bit more attention and also more patience for the questions and for your answers. Because my mother was she was reading with me quite often from children book. And one of them, I remember, there was under the ending of the story, there was a question. What did you learn about this? What was your impression? This was reading to me like 5 years old. And so I didn't know exactly maybe what my mother wanted to know, what kind of a question. I understood the question, but I wasn't ready to answer the right way. And so she said, I was mumbling around. So she said, "Don't worry, just stay calm and take your time, think it over. You don't have to kiköpni egy választ." Mi ez a kiköpni?
Spontaneous.
Spit it out. You don't have to spit out exactly right away. Stay a minute, think it over, and then maybe you can even ask a question before you give an answer. So that was my mother's calm down situation that she tried to tell me at the age of 5 or 6 by reading the story, that you don't really need to rush and bumble about, but think a little bit. They will understand it, that you took a little time, and don't feel ashamed that you cannot answer right away. So that was a very good answer by my mother.
Yeah, that's a great lesson for sure.
Because I am a slow poker and a slow thinker.
There's nothing wrong with that,
No,
especially
it's not.
today where everything is so immediate for you to actually pause and take your
Yes,
time.
and it
That's a
can
good
mean
thing.
a lot of things in your life's decision because we are really faced all the time to make a decision, either just for myself or even compare it with others.
Mm.
Answers.
You have such a great memory. I can't remember anything from when I was 5.
Oh, yes,
I'm
I
so
remember.
impressed.
I remember my father was a bureau
Judge or a referee.
Oh, when he was a
a
referee. Remember
referee.
that? Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he was on the international stage. There were 7 of them.
Yeah.
They were, called to other countries also. My
Wow.
father traveled quite often.
How
And
fun, though. Did you get to go to any of the games?
not myself so much, but
No?
my sister. My sister really enjoyed it.
She
But
did. You
I
didn't enjoy it so
myself,
much. Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it so much. I thought it was too long. Even though I am a slowpoke, I am not.
That was too slow.
Yeah.
The games were too slow. I like the games, though. They're fun, especially when you go in person.
Yes,
You know?
yes. And then you have to have a little bit more understanding behind it too,
Right.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
cheer your dad on. That's great.
And I also, another thing, having, girls are always have girlfriends, and who has more girlfriend and more well-liked than I am or whatever like that between teenagers. And I didn't find that necessary. I thought it was more necessary that you have, before you begin really a friendship, by that I mean that you talk about more subject, even personal items with my girlfriend than just blah, blah, blah. So I only had 3 wonderful lifetime long friends.
Mm.
And one was from Austria, and the other one was from Germany. And we stayed friends as long as they died.
No, that's
We
beautiful.
visited each other and we corresponded. At that time, not so many telephone calls like today, but correspondence. And then we were inviting each other to each other's home. I had Austria by Graz, my very good girlfriend, and then another one in Vienna. And the third one was my classmate in gymnasium.
Mm.
So
how did you meet these women?
through traveling. My family was a traveling bunch of people, really because of my father. So and my mother did also go with him. He was a referee, football referee,
Mm-hmm.
and well known also later on, between 5 or 7 of them. I heard one day, not directly from my father, but somebody who was sitting with them. My father said maybe he has been invited close to 90 times to be on the judge on plays between nations.
Yeah.
Maybe 90 times.
Yeah. Do you know a lot of times referees here are booed, right?
Yeah.
They're not liked very well.
It happened also to
Did
him,
it happen to
and
you?
that's when he stopped. And that has been, he has been in it maybe 30 years, and then he stopped. This was a game in Vienna, and he didn't agree with that, whatever
It
they
was a
had.
bad call. Yeah.
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 So then he finished. And my father was a beautiful person, very nice looking, handsome guy.
Oh.
Such a
So you
handsome
get your
guy.
good looks after your dad? Is that what you're telling us? Because you look beautiful for 101. I hope I look as good as you. So to what do you think you owe your longevity and your long life?
peace in your soul.
Peace in your soul. And how does one get peace in their soul?
Don't be jealous of anybody. No jealousy at all. He had a good job. Be happy about it, that it makes him happy. He should be a valuable person to your company or to whatever company. But don't be jealous. It doesn't help you. And you don't have to think like that I am jealous. But if I have too many times I am thinking about a certain object or subject, that will become pressurized to you. So just take it over, read a little bit more about them, and then see what things are going on, and then you can tell your opinion if they ask you.
What about your health? How did you stay so healthy all these
Oh,
years?
I tell you something, and I would wish this to anybody. Believe me. First we just managed a motel of 22 apartments. Wonderful, beautiful apartments in Sarasota. The name of it was Sunset Terrace Apartments, and close to Ringley Museum.
Okay.
And we managed it for 33 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
That is a long time.
30 or 33. Now I am not so sure. So we lived on premises. We were working all day on our feet, like I really say, on our feet, because we had been on 5 acres. Beautiful 5 acres. Still there. Beautiful. Close to Ringley Museum on 41. Entrance on 41. So we were always working on our feet for the 33 years. From 6 a.m. from my husband when he did start the laundromat, and myself from 9 o'clock when I started the office, and also going and doing cleaning in rooms when we were expecting guests to come, soon. And the girl, he needed help. Then I helped her in the finish. We had not rooms, we had apartments. 21 apartments and 2 overnight rooms. A beautiful situation. Very nice, well kept, with orange trees and citron trees on the land. We had 3 duplex apartments behind the buildings. We had 7 buildings on that. They tore it down. No, tore it down
since then.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, we spent wonderful working years always on our feet, and now it comes why I could do it. Every morning I was on the floor at that time, later on top of my bed. I was doing exercises about 15 or 20 minutes, and I showed several people, friends, the exercises. It took about 15 minutes, maybe 20, but 15 for sure. I did it on the floor, later on top of my bed. And my legs were up and up and up and up and down and down.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
Okay. Every day.
That's kept me every day.
That's how you started your day. And then you were on your feet all day.
Yes, and
So,
I was on the feet all day,
yeah.
on our flat feet, not high.
You weren't wearing high heels like me? You didn't have these 3-inch.
Oh, to go out, yes, to go out and get.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah,
cute.
I know, they're cute, but you can't work in those very well.
And I tell you something else.
Can't clean rooms.
What made my life so wonderful, my jobs were unbelievably good. My lifetime long I worked, and I'm telling the truth, University of Chicago Law Library. That was my work.
You worked there.
I don't know how many years.
Wow.
7 years at the beginning, and later 9 years continued at Kendall College, which was a junior college in Evanston, Illinois. very close to Northwestern University. So I have been always with young men in school.
In the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had a wonderful job. They appreciated me because I was talking 2 other languages. German, I am still very well in it, and French. My French, I was so disappointed because I had graduated also from French and German in gymnasium.
Okay.
And we were visiting in Paris, I don't know, 20 years later or 25 years later with my husband. And I couldn't understand a word. I said, how could this happen? Why don't I understand? I graduated from 6 years French. And I had a very good school where I went.
Yeah.
Erzsébet Nőiskola was the name of my school. Ajtósi Dürer, short 39.
Wow.
In
And then you forgot your French.
in Evanston, and
Yeah.
I forgot my French.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I took 4 years in college and
Yeah.
I couldn't write either or speak it. Is that my
So
phone?
then,
No, that's
oh,
your mom's.
sorry.
Okay.
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 So that meant that I speak German very well, and French I completely lost.
Yeah.
However, when we were visiting Paris for 5 days with my husband years later, and I told him, I said, a second day, I said, why don't we go and sit outside in the park? Because everybody is sitting in the big parks and having coffee forever.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of Paris.
And
the cafes.
yes, the cafes,
Mhm.
and maybe listen to them. And I said, if we would stay here 3 months, it would come back.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But you see, I learned the languages with grammar.
Right.
You have to know the grammars. Otherwise, you can talk kitchen language.
Yeah. Right.
Which is also fine.
Right.
But otherwise, you have to do the grammar.
So now we're talking about your second husband. Where did you meet him? Oh, we've got a little chuckle. Uh-oh. Has your son heard this story?
Unbelievable.
Mhm.
Yes. It was in Ober-Amerika, in a refugee camp. There were camps all over, very well organized, well set up, very well appreciated, because we had every day one warm meal on the road even. And then the rest of them were sandwiches. But this was all sponsored by America.
Mm.
We knew that. Otherwise, you could not have, done that. These were from 44, 45, 46, and on. Even today, there are camps that people would love to get in some country. It was a long, stiff. So, my second husband, I have to really think. I think my daughter was born in Ober-Amerika. I think. And that was, we were living in camps, in refugee camps. Really, refugee camps for years. Because these people all wanted to go to the West away from the Russians. Many, many, I tell you, from Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. I think the whole country just was fleeing. And that gave me the idea, actually, because we were already on the road going to the West away from the Russians. because it was Russian occupation, as you know, in Hungary for 42 years. And that was not easy.
No.
Absolutely not easy. Everybody was really suffering. But there is not much talking about it anymore. But it was tough because my parents were at home. They stayed there. They never went anywhere. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to leave the country. But anyway, my family sent me with my grandmother to a location for a summer vacation in close to hot one called a little whatever. What was it called? A pusztára. What is that? Peter.
Farmland, countryside.
Really in the farmland, in the countryside, yeah. We stayed with the owners. We had a nice time. My grandmother was with us. Plus, my sister was becoming a teacher, and she needed to have piano lessons. So even our piano was taken down to the 3-month summer vacation.
Oh, it was. Oh my gosh. How'd you bring that down there? Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. Really.
A flute would have been easier.
So we were spending the time at H8, which was close to Hot One, a bigger city. And when we came home, going to school, what did I see? Maybe all the Lithuanian and Estonian countries, they all came on the road. There were no cars, only doctors had autos.
Oh, wow.
Personal people
Wow.
didn't. Or, the government officials, they did.
Right.
But otherwise, all our road was right on the car road, not on the sidewalks. Unbelievable. And I thought to myself, the country is what is going to happen? All these Lithuanian, Estonian, and you can check on them. They were completely fleeing away from the Russians.
Wow.
And I was in there, I saw that in there, and I thought to myself, when these countries are leaving their country, giving up everything behind, then better I go too. And this is how I got out.
Okay. So
I went the same way. Yeah.
So you left your family behind.
So I left the family behind, yeah.
You left.
And I didn't come back. I couldn't come back home for 27 years. Otherwise, they would not let me come back again, as it happened to some people. They were interrogated about everything. They were kept for 1 to 2 years before they could come back to America.
So you left, and where did you go from there? Where did you end up? Yeah, do you remember? You were in a refugee camp.
Yes.
And is that where you met your husband?
Way after that.
After that,
yeah.
Yeah.
He was a doctor in the camp, one of 3 doctors.
Oh, wow.
And when my daughter was born in Oberammergau, well, the 3 doctors were not always the same. They were changed from one camp to the other camps. So you never knew which doctor came, but they were okay. So then when she was born in Oberammergau, and the 3rd person was Dr. Korbuli. There were 2 other doctors before. And Dr. Korbuli became my second husband.
Where was he from? Was he American?
He's a well-known doctor. 27 years older than I was.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And I had to make the how shall I say? He didn't have to change. I had to change to know how to handle it.
An older man? Oh, gosh.
Wasn't easy.
Men aren't easy, period. Doesn't matter how old they
No
are.
more questions. No more questions.
No more questions. No more questions. Okay. No, the interview's not over yet. You're not getting off that easy. There's a lot more I want to know.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So where did you live after that? Where did
So
you
what
move to?
happened then?
Yeah.
Well, we were in the camp for a number of years. And then we could sign up to countries where we would want to go migrate, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to wait really long. Some people had to wait 10 years long. Every week on the bulletin board, they put up the countries that would be able to accept so many refugees. Well, they had to go under the quota, not like today. So we were Hungarian, so we had to wait. It was 160 a year. That's all. They would accept 160. Yeah, 160.
Wow. And how many people were in the refugee camp, do you think?
Oh, my gosh.
Thousands.
Well, they were all over.
Wow.
And we were just lucky that we were under the American sector, because there were Russian and French and American. We all hoped and was praying that we can get there, and we will get in Oberammergau. Wait a second, that was the last stop. 130 of us were in that group, and we arrived. And how it happened that the few people who were organizing and they had to, how should vigyáztak a csoportra.
Overseeing.
Overseeing the groups. Yeah, overseeing the groups. They always had to keep, the name, not the names, but the numbers. So the last group was 130 that I remember. And this was I think Oberammergau, but I am not so sure right now. And then some who were responsible for us, they went into the government központ. Hogy hívják a government központot a City-nél?
City Hall.
City Hall. My God, simple. City Hall, and there were no rooms. They didn't want to, but finally they accepted. The restaurant opened up, and we had to sleep on the floor and on the not on the tables, but on the desk, a padokon. And so this is how we got there.
Wow.
But we got into the American sector.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And that was the wonderful advantage for it.
That's how you got to America eventually.
What was your first impression when you saw American soldiers?
Oh my gosh, I tell you. Do you know which city it was? Oberammergau?
Mm-hmm.
Again?
Yes.
That was a very well-known, famous town, Oberammergau. There is a healing section there. Hogy hívják őket? Oh my gosh, there is a sanatorium very famous there. I don't remember right now. Anyway, my gosh, I have to think about it.
You said they were very young.
Oh, the American soldiers. They were very young when
Yes,
you first saw
yeah.
them. Yeah.
When they come, and how I saw it, I was standing in the yards and the walkway with other people from the town, and the Americans came in, and I just opened my eyes. My God, I said, what are those? Can you imagine my first impression? What are those young kids? They look like 17, 18 years old on those huge
Tanks.
tanks.
Yeah.
What are they doing here?
Yeah.
And that was the occupation by the Americans. So I was standing right there when I saw that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. In
Your prayers have been
Oberammergau.
answered. right?
I tell you, I think I stayed that long. I think it had to do because I saw so much of history,
Yeah,
world history.
you did. You did.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. You've seen a lot in
unbelievable.
the
And
100
I said,
years, huh?
these 17, 18-year-old kids, what are they doing up there? They looked so young. And you know what? Finally, much, much later, we read that many of the newcomer boys were inducted from elfoglalt helyekről.
Other occupied areas.
Yes, from unoccupied other little settlements. They were young, like, oh my God, 17, 18 years old. You know, you have to be
Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
But that was and the American tanks came in front of me,
Wow.
standing on the. Yeah.
Well, you have to be 18, but back then a lot of those boys lied about their age, didn't they?
Yeah.
A lot of those boys were much younger.
Yes, I think so.
They were. They were.
I think so too.
So a lot of people would love to live to be 100. Tell me what you eat every day. Was there a special diet you follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the first one is the amount.
The amount of food. Okay, we're talking about our special diet to keep you to 100.
No, you don't have to have a special diet.
No special diet?
You have to. You start out with your regular dinner table, dinner plate.
Okay.
Next time you use a smaller dinner plate.
Okay. So we just.
And finally, you only use this one in the middle. And that's all that you eat. No snacking here and there.
Oh, I love to snack.
You have to give that up.
Got to give up the snacking? Okay.
Maybe you can do a little snacking, but you have to measure it out.
So it's all about portion
early
size.
in portion, not early in the morning.
Okay.
Just very little, this much. And I am still doing that.
Do you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Do you eat 3 meals a day?
Yes, I do.
Just
the
small
stomach
portions.
needs it. Small portions.
But no snacks.
Very little.
No.
However, I have a sweet tooth.
Okay. And so what's your go-to treat? Is it cake, ice cream,
No.
chocolate?
No. I don't buy the store torta.
Okay.
They are just,
Junk.
I don't, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to say that, but they are junk.
Okay.
I buy the little things, smaller things, and don't have too much at home. Even in the fridge, don't have too much. And the same thing comes with ice cream too.
Okay.
Don't ever overdo an ice cream. Just try it with the medium size one.
Little taste.
It should be enough.
Okay. Do you drink coffee or tea?
I drank coffee 40 years long.
Okay.
And one day I told myself this was it. And
you stopped drinking coffee.
Yeah.
How about alcohol?
Yes.
You do drink alcohol?
Yeah.
What do you drink? Wine? Gin? What is it? I need to know what's going to keep me young. Is it gin?
My first specialty is always micsoda, Péter?
Gin? Gin and tonic? Gin and tonic?
Yeah, that's
your first?
And I like.
You mean that's your first drink of a night?
No.
Okay, that's your first.
When
that's
I
your
go
favorite.
out,
you
I
like a
drink-
gin and tonic.
Yeah, I like gin and tonic.
Yeah.
And I also like a little thing that's called, it's sweet, amit szeretek a kicsit. That's
Hubertus.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that is. It's an
But everything with portions.
okay.
Mm. And don't have it around
It's like
in many tables, like and things. If you don't have it around, you will not desire to eat. So when I have sweets, and we also bake sometimes, I am not baking anymore, but I did bake enough. And we only keep very little up front, what you see, and then also we only took, one slice, and sometimes when I had already taken twice, the third one I would love to, but then I only take the half of it, and
Yeah.
it's not big, like this.
Yeah. So you don't eat a lot of sugar, but you let yourself have a sweet now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
But not too often. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because everyone's trying to live to be 100 and they're trying to figure out what to eat and how often they have to be at the gym, right?
Yes,
There's
and
no secret.
when I am visiting, they ask what you want. I said gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
Yeah, but not every day.
Yeah.
But I like gin and tonic.
It's
And
good. It's
wine,
sweet.
Hungarian backgrounds, you have wonderful wines, but I never got hooked on it.
Never got hooked on wine. Yeah. I like some of
Never
it, but.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Olga, I have a question. After 100 years, do you have any regrets? Do you have any regrets in your life? Anything you look back on and say, gosh, I wish I had not done that, or I wish I'd done that differently?
No, because my first decision that I did it right. And that was when I saw everybody fleeing and I went with them.
Yeah.
This is what I felt. And I was really 20 years old.
And you were pregnant, and that was so brave.
Yeah.
That was very brave.
Yes.
Did you go with a group? Did you know people when you left? Do you have friends that went with you?
Yes, but no friends. I am not that close. Pussy. I am not that, that you have to do all this. And therefore, én nem tracsolok. Mi az a tracsolás?
Gossip.
Gossip. I am away from gossip. I never talk about gossip.
I love that.
No,
I love
it's
that.
not worth any time spent with that gossiping. Really. I am not even talking too much. We have to talk long distance most of the time. And I am not doing, I never overdo it.
Now, if you could speak to your younger self, what would you tell her?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anything. Just keep yourself calm and think it over, maybe 2 times, 5 times, but not more 5, 6 times. Then you should really make a decision. And that decision you made, you should be happy about it. And if you are not happy, then try a better decision thinking next time, because you are not able to change anymore what you have decided with that session.
Yeah, I like that.
So don't, because when you are dissatisfied, there's always something here. So I always needed peace in my soul. And on top of it, I am sorry to say, I am Catholic, but I don't always go to church. But I am Catholic and I believe in God and I pray every day. And I also believe in a destination. And the destination comes as you are born.
You think you're born with your destiny?
With your birth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Many times.
Tell me what you're most proud of in your life.
Oh, my gosh. I have 3 wonderful, wonderful grandsons. Unbelievable. They are both kind, nice, good workers. They all finished colleges and they have wonderful families. They are successful. And this is my best accomplishment, I would say.
Yeah.
And I am really in good standing even with all of them, and also with their wives. And I tell you something, maybe, you never know. I told one of my grandsons, I told him three things, 2 different things. You have to show, once you are married, and the men work all day, and they come home and they plop themselves in the easy chair and in front of the TV. And you come home also from work. but you cannot sit down because your kids are waiting for you with the dinner or supper,
Yeah.
and you have to go right away into the kitchen and continue your work from job to homework. But your husband is sitting there and
I know it well. That's funny.
don't worry about it. I told her, don't worry about them. They also had enough with, their whatever appearance and whatnot. Let them just do it. But I tell you something. When they come home and you sit in the, oh, sorry, I told the husband, you always remember your wife with something, with very little things. You don't have much money to spend. Stop in at Publix, go stop at the uh, flower
Flower department.
container
Yeah.
and pick up one. Will cost you $1.90 or maybe $2.90. Don't worry about that. And then go home and then tell your wife, I passed by there, I couldn't resist it, so I brought you. I'm thanking you.
Yeah.
Many, many thanks for the wonderful dinners that you are cooking, even when they are only from the freezer, from the fridge,
Right.
and from the store.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. She thought about you, and it's her job or her
Right.
situation that you have to put food on the table. So, and then never forget that she has a job, and she is a mother, and she's a cook, and a whatever.
A nurse.
So you own a
yeah.
lot. You
Right.
own a lot to her. How can you thanks for that? With little things. Pick up a little things, a little flower, and put it on the dinner table in the corner. I thought it was so cute, so pretty. I brought it here for us to enjoy it.
Oh.
Do it on the dinner table. The kids will love it. And never, ever give that up, holding your hands and sitting around.
Yeah. It's the little things.
Yeah. And saying prayer, your prayer.
Mm.
Never forget it.
Mm.
Because you are in a destination. And you will find that later. Yeah.
Mm. Little things mean the most. Even just a handwritten note. Even just a little Post-it note, right? Just a handwritten note.
Yeah.
Something small. I agree.
Yeah.
Gratitude, it's so important.
Yeah.
What moments in your life made you feel the most alive and happy and joyful?
The first time we couldn't come back to Hungary. We had to wait 27 years.
Mm.
So I called my mother. Nobody was allowed to come, to the States. Russians were here. And I told my mother, can you come? Maybe we can meet you in Vienna. That's what we did the first time, maybe after 10 years that I was gone. But coming back to Hungary, 27 years.
Mm. That brought you a lot of joy.
Hmm?
That brought you a lot of joy going back to Hungary.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're home.
27 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then also we were sitting there 4 years in the waiting room until they had to check all your papers that you are not a communist or whatever. It was not easy.
Mm. But you made it through.
Yeah.
You have seen the world change in extraordinary ways.
Yes.
What amazes you most about today?
America.
America amazes you most. In what way?
Because it gives a home to everybody.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. It's beautiful. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
What concerns you most about
And
modern?
also, they don't bug you around. They don't, unless you are in a politics.
Yeah.
But they will take you. They will help you with everything. Get a new life.
Mm.
Get an apartment furnished. When we moved, oh my gosh, people who were coming earlier than we did, they had extra leftover tables, chairs, pictures, whatever. They were so happy that they could bring us one piece here, one piece there. I am talking about coming to America. That they love to see you. They were helpful, and they give you an opportunity to stand on your feet again.
Mm. Mm.
And also, especially when you talk English already, oh my gosh, you were really, well, I didn't have only 2 years English before I came because I knew always German 9 years and French 6 years, but no English. So over there, I started quickly to take English lessons, but 2 years are not enough.
Mm.
But I had wonderful jobs because I talked languages.
Yeah.
I worked only for the University of Chicago Law Library for all those years.
Wow. Wow.
Marvelous thing, and always with young people,
Oh,
students.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, what a great job.
So that kept me also, I think, alert,
Yeah, for sure.
being with young people.
What do you think of the internet?
I am dumb.
You are not dumb. I am dumb. If you're dumb, I'm dumb. I have a hard time with it too.
See,
Does life feel long or short when you've lived over 100 years?
I never think about that.
You don't think about it?
No.
No.
I am just thankful in my daily prayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think about your future. You just take one day at a
No.
time
Yes.
and live in the moment.
Well, I watch my doings. I never did silly things. And, well, life has taught me to be a person, my experiences.
Mm.
I had a very good upbringing, very strict school, very good school, and I couldn't complain. Even today, what I say, my original studying life, I can thank my first-year teacher in gymnasium. Her name was Dr. Rodak Olga. So when she accepted me to the school, she told me, my little, what do you call this when you have the same name? Ah, there is a word for it. Brusa.
Brusa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you are taken in school. Because that's a seldom used name.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how I got this name. My mom, because I asked her, it's not happening too often, that you see, they had a very beautiful home in Budapest, in Buda, which was in a beautiful situation, still is, where my mother was born. We visited it a couple times, new owners on it. Very nice home. They made a uh, third floor of it too. Two apartments, condominiums they have sold. And then this is my mother's birthplace, what I am talking about.
Mhm.
And it's still standing.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
In good condition.
Wow.
And it's in Budapest, in Buda.
Wow.
Zugliget. Nice location. Appreciate what you have. Don't mumble, you would like to have this, that. Appreciate, try to see the best advantage of it, what you are in it, and be sure to to have friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. Be honest. Don't lie too much, and don't pretend too much. Be yourself.
I like that.
Then you will not obtain the condition that you have to be mad about him because he didn't like me, he left me for this and that. Just keep it calm. And I mainly say it because you need this calmness in here.
In your heart, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, final question. You ready? Final question, Olga. If you could leave one message for future generations, what would it be?
Jesus Maria. Would be a lot, but I cannot say a lot. And I would talk to the mother and father of that child. And I would tell them, you brought this child in the world. You have to take all responsibility, especially now at the beginning, that you will have the right direction, not an overly done direction. You have to talk to them, and don't forget to pray with them every meal you take. Maybe not every meal, but if you want to, hold your hands together with the kids and adults. Do you know how much I heard it number of times through my life? Oh my God, if that would be good, we would always run home because it would be too much. We have to run. You don't have to run. This is just there. You don't even do it at home, but it will stay your family also together. It doesn't take you hold your hand and you take a short prayer. It takes a minute. And even if not, sit around and listen to that and say it. Because you have to pray and thank your parents that they were able to supply your food and your education. Because it's not only food, it's education. And my God, with mother today, the kids are so sharp from the TV. This is okay, but you have to control it. Don't let them stay at the TV too long. You better talk to the child. It will make an entirely different situation between you and your child. Your child will be really appreciative to you that you kept her informed. And that would start at the age of 3. Age of 3, not 5. Because they are very smart from TVs and life and classmates and whatever. And don't feel sorry to spend 10 or 15 minutes with every child that you have separate. You can sit, bring a little ice cream or whatever, and sit with her 10 or 15 minutes. Anytime that you feel you can grab him or her. And just be with him or her 10 minutes that she and he knows, yes, my mother is here, they will be here for me. Because once they get in the front of the TV, my God, it's much harder.
Yes.
It takes you more work to do that early. And today the 3-year-olds are so smart already.
So today, we didn't just hear a story, we were entrusted with one. A life that began nearly a century ago, that endured war, loss, reinvention, and still chose gratitude. Only a handful of people will ever live to 100. But the wisdom Olga Genersich shared with us today, that's available to all of us right now. To love deeply.
Yeah, but you have to say the last name too.
Oh, I do.
Genersich.
Genersich.
Yeah, if people would like to have or
Olga
something.
Genersich.
Yeah. Genersich. Genersich. Genrich. It's a German name.
I love it.
And
Well,
it's a very good family. Very
Olga
nice family.
Genersich has taught us to love deeply, to let go of what doesn't matter,
Yes,
to keep going even when life doesn't go as planned.
yes,
Because if there's one thing a century of life teaches you, it's that time is both long and incredibly short.
yes,
And in the end, it's not the years that define us, it's the people we love, the courage we show, and the meaning we choose to make along the way. So maybe today is a reminder to make the call, to have the conversation, to sit a little longer at the table,
yes.
because that's where life happens.
Don't mind robbing away 15 minutes when you get home.
Yeah,
Believe me,
yeah.
it helps. And it will help also marriages. Because you know what it is? Each one, she and he also are exposed today with girls who are,
Yeah,
yes, so you have to also offer something before you sit down in a peaceful surrounding when your husband comes home. I would even go and I would strike him. He's in his chair. Doesn't matter. I would strike him and
Oh,
I would hug him.
oh.
Don't forget hugging.
Hugging, hold hands, kiss.
Even
You know,
hugging.
yeah,
Yeah. Means a lot.
yeah,
If it means a lot. Because when the men come home, they say, I'm so tired, you know. I believe that. Oh, the telephones and whatever,
yeah,
they have not much time to pussy you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
stay around and go in the back and
Yeah.
rub him back. It will pay.
Goes a long way.
Yes.
Well, I want you to know I am honored that you shared your story. I mean it. I'm honored that you shared your story with me today. Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
I get a hug. Yay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Meant a
Okay.
lot to me. And
Yeah.
thank you all.
And I am a very honest person. I don't like to lie. I don't have too many friends, you know, close friends, girlfriends, I would
Yeah.
say. I have 3 in my lifetime longs. Left in my lifetime long. They are both gone. But
It's time to make new friends. It's time to make new friends. Say goodbye, Olga.
yeah, pussy.
I don't know what that means, but I kind of like it.
Pussy.
Kisses. Thank you.
Kisses.
We have a different meaning for it here. So kisses, joy, hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.